Aloha and welcome to the PUNAtic Punk Rock Podcast. I am your host and ringmaster for this, I guess, circus.
Collectible circus.
With me, we have our co-host, the Reshredorator, and we have all the way from Waikoloa, the band members of El Sancho.
Hey guys, yeah, missing one of them, but we got three.
Yeah, we got
four.
three. Introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Alan, and I play the guitar.
All right.
Tony, I play drums.
Hello, my name's Greg. I play guitar as well.
All right. Who writes the lyrics? Or do you share
Mostly
that?
Mostly me. But Tony writes some songs too. Nate, the bass player, is not here. He writes some stuff sometimes. Greg writes some songs. We just haven't played them yet.
No. Oh,
But most of the songs,
exciting.
I tend to be the more prolific person.
And who's kind of the vocalist, I guess, of the group?
Yeah, I mean, we all have songs we sing.
Right. Okay. Fair.
Yeah, I just tend to sing more of them because I have more free time to write songs.
Gotcha.
All right, and so you guys are from Waikoloa. Where are you guys from originally?
I am originally from the Bay Area, California. I've lived out here for about 8 years. And then Tony is from what, Arkansas? Arkansas. He's been out on the island. How long have you been here, Tony?
I was born on Mars, but my formative years were spent in Arkansas. I've been here for 29 years.
Tony, you look really
Wow.
cool pose right like that.
Do you like this?
It's like a cat pose. It's nice.
And then Greg and Nate are both from Oregon.
Right
Awesome.
on. Right on.
Yeah.
So how'd you all meet? How'd you all get together and make this little project?
So well, we'll start with Greg because he's been with us the shortest amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We were already a band, and then he joined. He moved here and joined the band. So that's how he got in the band. And then
Specifically to join the band.
Yeah,
Right.
And then Tony, we'll go in reverse order. And then Tony, I knew Tony had a drum set, but did not know how to play drums. And Nate and I were looking for a drummer. And I said, Tony, can you play in our band? He said, no. But I said, well, it's a punk band. He said, oh, okay. Yeah, I could do that.
Funny
Well, in
enough,
that case,
that's how we got our drummer.
Yeah, that's how many drummers come around. And then Nate, I went to go buy a couch on Craigslist. I did not end up buying a couch, but I noticed he had some musical equipment in his garage. And then a couple months after that, I had another friend who was like, hey, my friend, he's like wanting to start a band and play Super Suckers covers, but play them country style. And I was like, okay, I'm in. And I went over there. I'm like, oh, there's the guy I almost bought a couch from. And then so for a while, we were just like playing country versions of Super Sucker songs for a long time with other people before Tony came around. We never played out anywhere. We just kind of hung out and played country versions of Super Sucker songs. And then then once we got Tony, then we started writing songs and then eventually played some shows.
Oh, very fun. Very fun.
So Nate and I used to be in a band in Oregon years and years and years ago.
That's how, yeah, this is how we know Greg.
And so yeah, we were in a Bob Ross experience band where we would dress up as Bob Ross, and we would have sets set up with fake plants and deers and animals, and we would paint pictures while we played rock and roll. Leave those at every venue we played at. And the guy in the yellow sweatshirt, that is amazing. That just came into my thing right now. That's awesome. Hi. And but yeah, so those guys moved to Hawaii, and then when I came to Hawaii, I finally got to meet up with the rest of the crew, and they let me play music in their band. That was cool.
Yeah, we knew he was moving here for like a year, and we had a couple other people had played guitar in the band, but it just didn't quite work out. And then Nate's like, well, Greg's gonna move here at some point. We're like, okay, well, when Greg moves here, we'll become a 4-piece again. So even before he was in the band, he was in the band. He just didn't know it.
We got a spot saved for you.
Yeah. And he fits right in. Like, are there, it's hard in Hawaii to find people. You probably know this too, like to find people who to play punk music and then also know what punk music is and like how to do it. Like the other guitar players we had, like great, amazing musicians, but like you're like, no, you play the chugga chugga part and then you go to da 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 part and you go to mealy mealy part. And like with Greg, he's like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. Because he's heard all those, he knows what songs I'm referencing in the punk rock canon, whereas like somebody else is like, doesn't know what that means. So it's very easy.
It's almost like a different language in a sense. I've noticed like there's the scholarly academic, oh, we're playing quarter notes and you're gonna blah 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 here, but then it's like, nah, dude, it's the part.
Yeah. Like, what key is it? I don't know what key it is. You go like this, it's on the 4th fret, or maybe that's the 5th. I'm not even sure. It's
0 0 0 4 4 4.
That's even too complicated. I mean, just right here. Look where my finger is. Yeah. But so it's a lot easier. Yeah, like with Greg, it's a lot easier. Like I could just look at him and be like, see, like that, and he's like, yep, got it.
Thanks, Alan. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting learning curve for me, though.
Oh, I bet.
I've got all these guys that
Hey, Tony.
have expectations of what they'd like to hear, and I can build towards that goal. And the second that I think I'm getting closer, that part might sound better with more cowbell. No, they don't actually use the word cowbell, but it's any other member of the drum family and cymbal family. So it's really great for me coming from I was a guitarist since I was 14 and had been sitting in on other friends' kits when they needed a beer break or whatever. And these guys go, hey, you want to join a punk band? I go, I got a guitar just for that. And Alan said, we don't want you to play guitar, silly. We want you to drum. And I went, oh, but I'm not a drummer. And I think it literally took me until probably sometime in 2021 before I finally admitted to myself in my deepest soul, yeah, I guess I'm a drummer now.
You having fun, though?
I'm having so much fun. It's ridiculous.
Oh, good.
Good. I feel like we did the same exact thing to Kevin on our side.
Yeah. No, he started playing guitar, but we had 2 other guitarists. One's mediocre, and this guy who's fucking magician on guitar. And we didn't need another guitarist, but he owned a drum kit and he liked to dance. That was
Johnny's drum kit.
Oh yeah. No, our excuse was he liked to dance. It's like, well, drumming's kind of like dancing. You can do it, right?
Yeah. You dance while you sit down and just move your extremities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I've noticed Tony's gotten so much better since we've started playing. It's crazy. That's my finger in the way of the camera. Not because of me by any means, but just since the recordings that I learned how to play in Oregon and then came here to Hawaii, like Tony's fucking got me so much better. He's so much better. Killer.
Yeah. Getting better.
So when did you guys start playing shows together?
So
we
we
go
played
back to the schools.
Well,
yeah, so like 2019, I think, is when we probably played our first show. And I think sometime in 2019, we basically Waikoloa Elementary School. It's like where all of our shows were.
yes, play the elementary.
Because what my kids go, our kids go to school there, and then our friends all our friends are teachers and stuff. So it's like whenever they'd have an event, they're like, "And your band's gonna play, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then we show up, and then we just play at the elementary school, and that was like almost it played a couple of people's parties around Waikoloa too. But the first time we played outside of Waikoloa was a DOA show.
Oh yeah.
And I had to convince the the booking agent that we were like a legit band, and so I
Yeah,
actually
we're
like
legit.
recorded the EP we recorded. I basically like that was just a practice tape. Basically, we did just as a test, and I was like, okay, we have to put this out. I have to like get it mixed and like make this, and then we have to make CDs, and I have to tell this guy we have a band, and so that was like it's super fast. Like, yeah, we're totally band. We've got this record coming out. Yeah, we're he's like, you guys got a big following on the island. I'm like, yeah, totally.
Huge.
Fake it till you make it.
As big as you can get on the Big Island.
But there's just not, at the time there's not really any other punk bands, and there hadn't been a punk band come play on the island in a long time. So it's like it was a big deal that DOA came and played. It's probably been 10 years since anybody had been over here, so I was like, we have to play this show.
Yeah.
And then
Play is playing in Hawaii. Holy shit.
Yeah. And so the booker just basically ignored me forever. And then there's this other band that was playing the bill called the Cutthroat Brothers, which is the drummer from Zeke, and then my friend Jason, who used to cut my hair. He doesn't anymore because I haven't cut my hair in a long time. But they're a band of barbers called the Cutthroat Brothers, and they were playing the show. So I was like, Jason, you got to get me on this show. And he's like, okay, I'll work some magic. So he hassled the guy and said, El Sancho is the only band with it. I think if you want to have gear, because otherwise you got to rent gear, because we don't have any, because they had his band on and assumed they were going to have gear. Like, we don't have any gear, because they're based in Washington. So he's like, you got to have El Sancho play if you don't want to have to rent gear. So he's like,
We got your back
okay,
line.
El Sancho it is.
So El Sancho supplied all the gear for that show? I never knew that.
Hilo Town Tavern did the PA. We supplied bass, 2 guitar sets, and drums.
Tony,
The drummer was totally scared of your drum set. He thought he was going to smash your.
He thought he
snare
was
drum.
going through every single head. He goes, "You got backup heads?"
hey, let's go.
No.
Tony,
Yeah.
stop it. Tony, stop.
Yes, we're recording you scratch your balls, and we're putting that on the web. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I'm thinking.
So I saw you guys on the DI concert, not long
month
after
later.
that.
Yeah, a month after that. Yeah.
And that was fucking awesome. I saw you guys immediately bought your EP, I guess. Is that what you put out?
Engines?
Yeah.
The D.
No, DI, weapons, M16, 1045, or Richard hung himself.
Okay.
All that.
Richard hung himself. Richard hung
Not the
himself.
drunk engines. That show also I had because Lundy was setting up that one, and he already had 3 bands playing. I'm like, come on, dude, come on, let us play, come on. and
I'm so glad you guys are on that. I hear a lot of the music on the islands is good. I like a lot of punk bands, but they're never quite ring well with me. And I heard you guys, and these guys' tongues are so far in their cheek. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Alan's a mastermind, dude. That guy is going to get us in any gig at any time. And I appreciate that. That's amazing. That guy is fucking on point with all that stuff. That's why we're playing your house next weekend for the podcast. Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about
weekend.
that.
Yeah.
If you don't mind sharing the stage with goats, that's fine.
Yes.
Dude, we love goats. I love goats. I mean, we love goats.
That's the most fucking metal thing you could play with.
But yeah, so after that DI show, and it's awesome. There's a ton of people I met at that DOA show. That show brought people out of the woodwork, right? It just and I mean, I lived here for 6 years, and I had not met a single person who likes punk rock, and they were all at that show.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, finally found my tribe of people. And I've met people, that are super good friends of mine now that I met at that show that and then came back at the DI show too. But after that show, Lundy and those guys that they were because he works with a promoter on mainland. They had all sorts of bands lined up to come over, and then the pandemic happened. And
It's the punk rock podcast.
so everything fell apart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, being at Tony's house.
But oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna play a quick
I think
song off that first EP. Song is Julia.
Julie.
Oh, I keep hearing it as Julia. I don't know why. But I love this song. It's fun. It's bouncy.
It's a very depressing song. It's not fun at all.
Well, the
But-
bounciness makes it.
That's why I like. That's why I guess that's how I write. Depressing songs.
But I guess you guys heard the song all the time. I'll just put it in, edit it in here, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Hey, Julie, really sorry when I showed your friend how Barney the dinosaur was the devil. She went insane. I used fake math to screw the brain. Hey, Julie, now that you're gone, wish I didn't have to write the stupid song. Wish I got to know you better. Knew you from the pictures on the mantle when I went to your mom's house that time. I know, no one's really happy. We got our own ways to cope with the sadness. What you took didn't really work out. Maybe you did, but we're fine and check now anyway. I know, no one's really happy. We got our own ways to cope with the sadness. What you took didn't really work out. Maybe you did, you're a minor judge now anyway. Hey, Julie, really sorry when I showed your friend how Barney the dinosaur was the devil. She went insane. I used fake math to screw the brain. Hey, Julie, now that you're gone, wish I didn't have to write the stupid song. Wish I had to know you better. Know you from the pictures on the mantle when I went to your mom's house that time. I know, no one's really happy. We got our own ways to cope with the sadness. Where you took didn't really work out. Maybe you did, who am I to judge now anyway? I know, no one's really happy. We got our own ways to cope with the sadness. Where you took didn't really work out. Maybe you did, who am I to judge now anyway? Good job, solo. Someday, maybe we'll meet again. Show me how to turn the cute bird for that sword into an agent of Satan. Lucifer in a sweating suit with Roman
And that was a great song.
Yeah, by these three fine people here, and another. What was his name again?
Nate.
Nate.
Yes. And so on that track, actually, because Greg wasn't there, Jose played guitar on that song. Got to give a shout out to our old guitarist Jose.
So you say it's a depressing song. What is the song about?
It's about my friend Julie, who died. And so her, like one of my best friends since I was 18 is this guy Joe, who every like weird musical shenanigan I've ever gotten into has involved Joe. And somehow the first time I ever came on tour to Hawaii, it was with Joe. And I peed my pants on stage intentionally because we were a fake emo band. Like we traveled all over the world together and we did all sorts of stupid stuff. Anyway, so I'm super tight with Joe, super tight with his mom. Like, like every time we go on tour, she like packs us like snacks and stuff. Anyway, so his sister, like I knew her, but I didn't really know her that well. And then she died. And I realized like the only memories I had of her were from like 20 years earlier. And it was just like this one specific memory.
Oh.
And so the song's about that memory, which is when I sent her friend into, I explained to her friend how Barney, the purple dinosaur, was actually Satan. And I used a mathematical proof to explain this to her. And then she, I guess, like fucking lost it and went into a mental institution because she was just thinking about Barney being Satan. And that's what the song, it's a very long-winded, confusing song. That's what it's about.
Wow, that is extremely depressing.
And then she died. So then Julie died a couple years ago. And so it was super bummer for Joe and his mom and everything.
So why don't you
Hey, just so you guys know, when I first learned about this song, it was fucking horrible. Thank you. It was great. But I love the song. The song is so much fun to play. But it was
that's a song we actually never we don't play. We didn't. It's not a song we play because I don't like playing it. But we just started playing it again because now we have two guitars and we can kind of make it a little more. It's very I feel like it's a very monotonous song, but now with two guitars you can do a lot more. So we started playing it.
Well,
Yes.
it's one of my favorite. It was definitely the one that stood out on the.
Nice. Okay,
I grabbed.
that's good to know because
Yeah.
I never would have thought that's the one.
It never is it? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I ask people what to think of our songs they like, it's never the ones I expect.
I let Alan write all the depressing songs.
Which
I
songs do you
songs
write?
about- I
Alan,
write songs about sharks and zombies and aliens and irrelevant shit. That's really relevant if you look at it.
So he on that EP he wrote Great White Shark, which is about I guess sharks.
Shark.
like the fact not like in a weird pose anymore. It's nice. Thank you, Tony.
I could give you one of these.
Thank you. We're on now. See you later.
Are you leaving? What's going on?
I have no idea.
I'm confused.
It's their
trying to
first
get away
Zoom
from
call.
Tony's balls.
This before. It's pretty funny. But like, there's so many different feeds coming in. I don't know. Like, there's the orange shirt guy or the yellow shirt guy that comes, and yeah, this guy. And then there's Alan, and then there's the guy doing the podcast. It's new to me. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. I only started using Zoom when I started doing this thing, and
So he
This
like
is actually my first Zoom call too.
he like now I can see the dude that's doing the podcast, right?
yes,
You'll see whoever's talking if you're on your phone.
Alan, I want to
That's-
see you all the time. It's amazing.
Well, I'll
It's
just
just-
not shut up then.
No, it's
All
fine.
right. Back to
back to me.
Yeah, what's your
I
next
hope-
question, asshole?
I don't know. I was hoping you guys would carry this.
I don't know. Game over.
Oh no. Oh, so what's it like doing punk rock in Waikoloa? Waikoloa always seems more kind of a upscale place to me, and doing
we don't
punk
really
rock
do
seems
punk
kind
rock. I mean, yeah, we don't really. I mean, we practice here,
of.
and then the neighbors complain.
Oh, yeah.
But we actually are playing. We did play a show in Waikoloa at my house. A couple weeks ago, we brought over. So that show with Square Shapes in
Yeah.
Hilo. We also had them in my house, playing my front yard the next day.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I had no idea what my neighbors would think. They all loved it. Nobody complained. Just
That's
random people walking through the neighborhood. And
That was awesome.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then we actually are going to play a show in Waikoloa at the end of the month. They're starting up like some sort of like night market thing, where they have like food vendors and stuff, and we're gonna play one of those. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not a punk rock town. It's Waikoloa.
Yeah.
It's where you either golf or you have kids. You know, we have sidewalks here. Did you know that? Like
Yeah,
legit sidewalks.
Every now and then I go to the opposite side of the island to work. I sleep on the job there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, they have sidewalks. It's amazing. No other place on the island has sidewalks.
Yeah. It's like the only place you can find a sidewalk
You know.
They have a skate park there too.
and a skate park.
Skate park.
Yeah,
I
there's
just saw we were
Sidewalks
getting
leading up to the skate
the.
park.
I just saw they released plans for the Hilo skate park finally. That's been in the works for years.
I saw that. Yeah.
I hope that comes to fruition soon because
I've been donating to that since I was in high school.
yeah, yeah. I've been doing shows for that fucking thing forever. Where's the skate park?
Pay off. Come on.
watching skate park development, I'm way into that. That's really killer. And I saw park is going to get developed right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if we could get like even if it's like a temporary stage kind of set up, because that's a spot that, punk rock would be that's like hand in hand, pro skater, Tony Hawk fucking games and punk rock, they just go together.
Playing a punk rock at a skate function is the best.
Yeah.
It's so much. I've done it for years. It's so good.
I did it at an ice skating rink once. Played a punk rock show inside an ice skating rink. That was not as good as a skate park.
It doesn't sound as good.
And
if people tried to mosh, that would really end up injuring people.
The band had to set up on the far side, so you literally had to ice skate across the entire place and then stand on your ice skates to watch the band. Like it wasn't. It was awesome and horrible at the same time.
I'm not going to say anything, Alan. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I feel like the roller derby could work as well. You play in the center of the rink and they're skating around.
That would love.
Fucking.
So
one of the first times I ever saw the Ramones on TV was they were playing. It was like this late night TV show where it was a roller derby TV show. And they'd have bands play in the middle, and then the girls were going around. I don't know what the show was called, but it wasn't on for very long. But the Ramones were playing in the middle of this like pit of roller derby girls like smashing each other, and it was.
I remember seeing that like a flyer for that with Zeke, like outside of Tacoma, and they were doing the same thing. It was killer. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got I think we have quite a few teams of derby here. That might be a good like kind of thing to look into potentially if you guys are looking for more gigs.
Yeah, I know that. I used to have a bunch of friends who did it in Honeka'a. That was before the pandemic. I have no idea if they do it anymore, but
they're back. Yeah, I'm not sure. I had friends who were up in like the Mountain View area that would hit us up because they'd come to our shows and they'd be like, "You guys need to come play for us."
That would be That would be awesome.
Do those girls skate with like knives and like machetes and stuff, or
James?
Is that pretty much how it goes?
That's Mountain View.
How do they? Like,
I feel like
I'm
it's probably
they could
pretty
beat
brutal.
the shit out of you without like any weapons at all.
Yeah. No.
Like some of these girls would probably lay you out.
Coconut, dude. Bam. It'd be awesome.
All right, I'm gonna play another song and ask you a quick question. Why are you unhappy living on Earth?
I am not, but my son is, and my son wrote that song.
It's by the Grenades.
So he had a punk rock band when he was 7 called the Grenades, and him and his like best friend Corinne, they would come over and they just make music and they'd write songs, and they would just like hang out in my garage, and I'd show them how to press record on a thing, and then they'd have the mic set up, and they would she would just like either bang on the drums and he'd strum the guitar, and they would just yell, and then I'd just come back in the room and see what they worked on. I'm like, huh. So they actually have there's a bunch of other ones I want to turn into songs too. Like, so that song, I kind of took the general feeling of that song and then turned it into a real song.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's like how like parents will like take their kids like fingerprint drawings and then turn them into like wonderful like impressionist artwork. Yeah.
Yeah. So this song, this was the first thing we released during the pandemic, because we suddenly couldn't practice together and we were getting stir crazy. I'm like, I'm just gonna put out this song. So actually, the rest of the band didn't even play on that. It was all me. But we do play it live, and we're actually going to re-record that song soon, and we play it a lot different, but I actually like the way we play it now more than that recording. No. But it's a really fun song. But yeah, the intro of that song is my son and his best friend explaining the song, as you'll probably hear. Any 3, 2, 1, go.
Song is called I Am Unhappy to Live on Earth. And it's about like me like not liking Earth as much as most people in the world do. So,
it's
guys, let's get started.
It's 5 grenades. 1, 2, 3, hit it!
I'm unhappy to live on Earth. All these people make me squirt. Other people want to hug a tree. I just want to be set free. Build me a spaceship, give me a suit. Head to Venus in my pursuit. I just want to be real far away from where you are. I just want to be real far away from where you are. You can have the birds, you can have the bees, hey the stars, let me be me. There's nothing on this planet that satisfies me. Too much oxygen, too much to eat. A desolate landscape with nothing to breathe. Silent isolation makes me weak. I just wanna be real far away from where you are. I just wanna be real far away from where you
And that was I'm Unhappy to Live on Earth by Sancho, written by his son. By Alan's son.
And my son Jonah and his best friend Corinne.
Yeah,
in
that
grenades.
song's really fun.
Yeah.
It's really impressive that they made that.
It's technically a cover.
Right.
I was saying, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, I think there's always a little delay on Zoom, so it's like
Oh,
you don't hear the interruption. But
You start talking at the same time, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah,
shit."
Yeah.
Love that.
Bergen, I'm sorry.
So you guys been playing, like, jumping around, like, you've been playing a lot of shows lately, definitely. I know you got a
Got
couple
another
shows.
one Friday.
You got another one Friday?
Yep.
Where's
Pop-up.
that?
Willie's Hot Chicken,
Oh, in Waikoloa.
Kona.
Or Kona. Or,
Kona. Yeah.
This
So
will
it was
be-
kind of a last minute thing because they had a band cancel, so they were like, we'll have El Sancho play.
We're gonna
Nice.
play Woodzo here pretty soon.
This will be Greg's second time ever playing a chicken place.
This is true. Yeah. And then after that, we playing in Waikoloa at the night market. And then we're coming over. Then we don't have anything for most of May. Then we're gonna come over to Hilo we're going to Pahoa and Hilo. Double nighter.
Yep. I'll be there both nights. Definitely gonna check them out.
Super stoked on I'm stoked on playing the Lava Shack, and also super stoked on the Axe Lounge because that's just gonna be
I've never
cool.
The Axe Lounge opened up recently. Never played there. Didn't think that
They have not had they've had very little live music. They've done it a couple times, but they're really interested in doing just weird events. So he said this is actually going to be a graduation party because it's like it's Memorial Day weekend. It's the end of school, so it's like we're having a punk rock graduation party.
Nice.
And then that weekend we are bringing over a band from Oahu to play both shows too. That's called the Granite Saints.
Oh, I heard of them. I love them.
Yeah, they're cool. They're like remind me a lot of like Social Distortion and Super Suckers and just kind of like weird kind of country kind of dirty rock punk country stuff. Like so they're cool. So I'm super excited to play with them. And then the Pahoa show we're gonna have KOA open, who are from Ocean View, and they've been around for a long time. Put out like 4 albums. They don't play. They just don't ever play shows. Like we played a show with in Hilo at the tavern. Yeah, like right in the middle of the pandemic. Like the tavern was like, okay, we'll do shows, and then we booked a show, and they're like, okay, well we're nervous about it, so we're not letting anybody in who can't sit at a table. And so it was like, and then they had the tables spaced out like 10 feet apart. So there were very few people who were able to watch the show. Like there were people who drove over from Kona for the show and had to stand outside. But they were
That was
rad.
a pretty fun show though, because the night before our gig, they had a wedding reception at Hilo Town Tavern. The entire place was decked out in lace and chantilly and chandeliers. It was just the weirdest oddball setting for a punk show that would have been just amazing if we would have had our normal following be able to come to the show. It was just absolutely bizarre. Why would a punk rock band be playing in a wedding reception? It was great.
But yeah, it was fun. But so they haven't played a show since then, and
they've gone through some lineup changes too, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They don't have a drummer right now, so they're actually gonna, like, unless they find a drummer, they're gonna be like drum machine style.
Oh.
So
They got it.
we'll see how
Worry about it, man.
see how it
Those-
goes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And they added a keyboard player. So
Fuck yeah.
yeah, but yeah, they were really fun last time. Like I like their stuff, and some of it's a little more too like kind of metally that I'm like, yeah. And then some of it's just like cool punk rock about, like, when they played live, it just that they had really good energy. I thought, like, just that it was just really fun to watch the three of them interact. You know, it's just sometimes you just see a band and you're just like, this is just fun, you know?
Yeah.
And so that one was good. They just put out a new album, like maybe a month ago. So it's their fourth album. So I think it's called Forward Motion.
All right, I gotta
Four.
find them. I gotta find that. Put that on the playlist radio.
Yeah, they've been around. They've been playing since like 2016, I think. But they're deep down in Ocean View.
Yeah.
And so they just don't like,
hard
and
to
they kind of
get
started out,
anywhere.
they were kind of like, they were a metal band, and then they're kind of playing, you know, the opportunities to play shows in Kona are not metal or punk, you know, normally. So they were trying to fit in. So they'd throw in a lot of like covers and stuff, try to like make it so the places would let them play. But yeah, no, they're a really fun band.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's play another song.
Okay.
How about Permanent Record? Tell me about that song.
All right. Yeah. No, that's my favorite ones to play. That's just a song about, like, it's not about any particular person, but it's just kind of just basically when you make friends with somebody, and then all of a sudden, like, then they start talking too much, and you're like, oh.
Like, I liked you when I knew less about you.
Yeah. That's just kind of, like, that's basically what the song's about.
Oh, that's great. It sounded like that. Just hearing it from you confirms what it sounds like. Unlike Julie, which I didn't think it was depressing at all until you explained it. But here we go. This is Permanent Record off the album Our Part in the Darkness, released in 2001. And
2021.
2021. Yeah. Excuse me.
Damn, you're old.
Time machine. Sorry. It's confusing.
When the walls come down, I can see it inside. It's not very pretty, there's nowhere to hide. Didn't know you really felt like that, but now I know why. There's a welcome back. Your name's just there when you come to the door, which is something you said the night before. Maybe you don't remember it, but I sure do, and I'm sick of it. I'm in a record, what can I hear? Think you sat up a couple of years. Let's get loose and go and share. I'm in a record, what can I hear? Think you sat up a couple of years. Let's get loose and go and share. I don't wanna hear about your brand new rash. I don't wanna hear where you keep your stash. I don't wanna hear that you voted for Trump, cause that's not gonna get you dumb. On the outside you seemed okay till I got in your brain and I can't delay how fast I need the door to close before your cesspool break. Hands on the floor. Think you said it a couple of years. Let's get loose and go and share. Think you said it a couple of years. Let's get loose and go and share.
Yay!
And that song brought us world peace. Don't look at the news.
Yes.
That song brought us
Nope.
world peace.
Yes. All is well. All is well.
Russia's retreating. Oh, nice.
Yeah. May or may not be a coincidence that it's because we played that song, but
Yep.
we'll let you
I
decide.
think. Yeah. Exactly. It's up to your interpretation.
So one of the interesting things going through your stuff, you guys put out a very interesting Christmas album.
Yes.
Right.
Is it Jollier Than Thou?
Yes.
And
You may think it's interesting. I don't know.
oh,
Other people might not.
it totally, my expectations were low for a Christmas album, I'll admit.
Yes. Yeah.
But
They
for
should be. They should
Those
be.
expectations, it blew me out of the water. Because
Nice.
you have some fucking awesome songs in here, all with the same tongue in cheek, just like what is it, Merry Christmas, Joey Ramone? Very simple song, but powerful. I felt it.
Yeah.
Like
You
the
felt
only
it.
person
Good,
I
good.
want to wish Merry Christmas to is Joey Ramone. Everybody else can go fuck themselves. But it sounds like from the lyrics, you had some not great Christmases on the island.
Well, yeah. So there was a song on there called, I believe it's called Last Christmas Was a Shit Show. I think that's the one, that's probably the one you're referencing. And that was just kind of about like last year, you know, like everyone's isolated because of the thing. And
the second song as well, I think.
Another lonely
yes.
Christmas on the Big
Another
Island.
Lonely Christmas on the Big Island. That one, that one was less autobiographical. That one was kind of just I don't remember the backstory from that one. I will tell you this: I wrote that entire album in less than and recorded it in less than a week.
That's badass.
And it was just like one day I was because the year before, we made a Christmas song called what was it called? It's on that album. We finally won the war on Christmas, right? And so we put that out last year, and it was super rushed, and I was never quite happy with the recording of it. But we put that out. It was just like December 2nd. I was like, better make a Christmas song, and then made this Christmas song about how okay, cool, because we as the non-Christmassy people finally won the war on Christmas, like Sean Hannity, and Lost and all this stuff. It was just kind of a silly joke, right? And I liked the song, but I didn't really like the recording of it. So I was like, I should redo that song for this year. And then I was like, well, I can't just redo that song. So maybe I'll make 2 songs. And then all of a sudden I actually wrote probably 10 songs for that album. And initially the album was going to be a Dead Milkman themed Christmas album. I don't know if you're a fan of the Dead Milkman, but they're one of my favorite bands ever. And a couple of the songs do have some Dead Milkman references in them, but initially all the songs were going to be either steal parts from the Dead Milkman, which some of these songs do, or lyrically reference the Dead Milkman, which some of these songs do, but initially all of them were going to. But that was too ambitious of a project. So I just made 6 songs. And what's weird is the response to that was it was just a kind of almost a throwaway thing.
Yeah.
And just put it together super fast, released it, and I made tapes. Here's a limited edition black cover one. But I made some tapes, and I sold a lot of tapes, on Bandcamp. I probably sold 30 something tapes, which we make CDs too, but I probably haven't sold 30 CDs, you know, but in a very short period of time, sold a bunch of tapes, and people were buying the songs on Bandcamp and buying them on iTunes. And it got picked up by Huffington Post,
Really?
the website, and said it was one of the top, that Merry Christmas Joey Ramone was one of the top new Christmas songs of 2021.
With
And
Michael Bublé.
yes, it was like a list with had Michael Bublé, Mariah Carey, maybe Billie Eilish had a Christmas song. I don't know, like a bunch of like all the regulars who have Christmas songs every year, and El Sancho. And I was like, that's super weird. My mom was calling me; she was all proud of me for once. And
Play in New York like a El Sancho song or anything, but just saying, it would have been nice.
what's that?
I said we didn't play in New York for like a El Sancho song. That would have been nice though.
Oh, for like some sort of New York Christmas thing with giant tree.
Absolutely, right there.
Yes. Yeah.
Underneath the tree.
Yeah, you can milk that.
Yeah. No, what the great thing about a Christmas album, I think, is that next year it's still a Christmas album.
Yeah.
So
you only listen to it once a year. It's always fresh.
I got to make a bunch of new tapes for next year, and
Unless they put it on repeat on the radio, then that's certainly get people to hate it.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't mind listening to it on repeat for a couple of years.
It got reviewed by Maximum Rock and Roll,
Wow.
and they said they put Merry Christmas Joey Ramone on repeat. So there you go. Whereas there was another magazine that reviewed it, and they said that Merry Christmas Joey Ramone was too long, which I also have felt that, because that's like one of the longest songs ever written, and it's very repetitive. I'm kind of a 1.5 minute kind of guy. You know, once you go past that, you better have a good reason to go past that.
Yeah.
Which annoys the heck out of bandmates sometimes. They're like, "That's it? That's the whole song?" Like, yep. And then we go to play a show and play 30 songs, and it's like, that was 45 minutes. and you know, venues around here want you to play for 3 hours for some reason. So yeah.
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 Well, here we are. This is Merry Christmas Joey Ramone off the album Jollier Than Thou.
Merry Christmas, Joey Ramone. Merry Christmas, Joey Ramone. Merry Christmas, 'cause you mean so much to me. Merry Christmas,
play that song?
Yes, I'm gonna play that song because why not?
There you go.
Like fucking some other great songs.
Well, you do have other great.
Yep, check out the album on Spotify. Your other reference, local preference, whatever you want to watch it on, listen to it on Bandcamp, because you can pay them. That's important.
Yeah.
Spotify doesn't pay shit but pennies. So
El Sancho's Bandcamp is brilliant. It's one of the few Bandcamps that has everything, like as the upcoming shows.
Thank you, Tony.
Buy our merch.
Here comes the plug.
Buy our merch.
Buy the merch. Buy the merch. Buy the motherfucking merch.
Yeah, no, the Bandcamp is the only place you can find our song about Lucy's Taqueria.
Ooh.
Nobody even knows that.
Oh,
yeah.
You did a song about my former workplace?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We only played it once. We played it right out because I wrote it. So I wrote Lucy's Taqueria because our old guitarist Jose, one day we were all text all day long and stupid stuff. And then I think we were talking about there's this band called Mary's Danish back in the 90s, and then there's another band called Alice Donut, and it was kind of like it, and then it was like a woman and a food, and then somehow it got onto
that's actually
Taqueria. What's that?
I said play Part of the Darkness. That's a pretty good song.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's a good tune, and I'm not even on it. It's even better.
You are now. Or else.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you with your chopping techniques.
Hey,
we're
doing a cooking video while we're doing the El Sancho interview.
What's
Well, by request, this is Our Part in the Darkness off the album Our Part in the Darkness.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You're standing there on the side. Hold up a sign expressing your disdain, but we all share the blame. I'm on the darkness. I'm on the darkness. I'm on the darkness. I'm on the darkness. Together, you can sing along at the top of your lungs, but in the end it doesn't change the goddamn thing, and we all still share.
back.
And we're back. Did you miss us?
I missed you.
Oh,
Did you
your
notice
fault.
okay, so did you notice the Devo reference in that song?
I did not. Point it out, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, so Devo is one of my favorite bands of all time. They're just
Hard not to be.
ridiculous.
It-
Yeah. And then they made this movie with Neil Young
Mhm.
called Human Highway, which is ridiculous. And then they had a song in there called "It Takes a Worried Man," and it's about anyway. So there's a whole that I basically stole a verse from them in that song. The last verse is a Devo song.
Well,
So
you know the saying, like, good artists make their own things. Great artists steal.
exactly.
it's always good to be inspired by somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, it was a
You
Devo song.
inspired me, Greg.
They never released it. It wasn't ever like on an album or anything like that. It was only in this super obscure movie with Neil Young. It's such a rad movie if you ever see it. Yeah, it was just a super weird song, and I stole that I would say half of the last verse was stolen from them, but they had actually stole it from somebody else, oddly enough. So there you go.
All right. So I guess I'm out of the band now.
No way. You ain't getting off that easy.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah, if Tony's still got a drum, you guys still got to play guitar.
Yep.
Obviously, El Sancho is breaking down right now. This is what's happening. So
Oh
we're gonna
no! Don't tell me my podcast ruined El Sancho. I
Sam,
regret
you're the
everything.
one killed us.
dude, just wait for us to play these next shows. This is gonna be awesome.
Well,
It's gonna be so good.
I'm definitely
Horrible.
anticipating you coming to the side of the island.
Yeah. No, I feel like whenever we play over there, like we play in Kona more. Actually, we probably play in Hilo more now that I think about it. But when we play in Kona, it's fun. But I feel like at least my tribe of people are in Hilo. Like that side is where like the people that get it live.
They
over
do.
there.
They really do. And
Yeah.
I really do regret. I used to do sound and kind of like I used to run the open mic night as well as the a couple of the rock shows like twice a month with Total Deniability Productions for a couple of years over there. And I regret not reaching out and finding you guys and more artists like you guys who are around, because I feel like the Big Island has these niche collectives of artists similar to us. We don't know each other because it's such a
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of weirdos on this island.
There are, and they don't interact with people. That's the thing. Like I don't really interact with people.
I don't either.
And,
And my bad.
Yeah. And we're up in Waikoloa. We're surrounded by a bunch of golfers, and then we're like for the last place you probably would expect to find a bunch of weirdos. But like when I first moved here like 8 years ago, it's like, okay, punk rock. Where do I find punk rock on the internet? And basically I found Old Habits Die Hard.
Mhm.
And I already knew of them because my friend Jason, who lived on Oahu, had put out a compilation that they were on. So I'd already heard. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this song. And then a couple years after that, I searched it again and I found Step on the People, and I was like, okay, I gotta find these guys. And then I never did, because it's like, well, they're all the way in Hilo. I'm like, you play a show, I'd be like, I should go to that show.
Yeah, we're scattered up in like Puna and Mountain View and shit. So
Yeah.
damn. Yeah, it's hard to network, I feel like, with that kind of system because there isn't a big fan base for it. So word doesn't travel as far as if like you're playing top 40s or if you're like a killer reggae band who's just like crushing,
I would say that all of our shows, there's a good crowd though. Like there's people come out, they're like, there's a punk show. They don't know what the band is, but they're like, there's a punk show. I want to go to the punk show. And like that show at Amigos, I don't know if you were there, that like was there, and the band Square Shapes that played, nobody knew who they were.
Yeah.
Like we played, and then Square Shapes played, and everyone just went crazy for them. They did not know any of their songs, right? But they acted as if they were their favorite band, right? And
well,
and
everybody
it was
had
rad.
gotten pretty inebriated by that time. Usually that's the problem
is true,
going
yes.
first, is like people are
Yeah,
just
yeah.
starting to drink, and then the next band is drunk and fuck yeah.
But and they were like, I mean, Square Shapes has been around for, I don't know, eight years or something. They're like, this was the best show we've ever played. Like they've opened for the Dead Kennedys. They've opened for like, I don't know who else, all sorts of bands on Oahu. And they're like, this was the best show we have ever played, was in Hilo. So
wow.
That was
awesome.
like, they had more fun at that show than anything else. And the next day I took them to Waikolo and they played for my neighbors, which they had fun at that too, but a different kind of fun. And then they didn't after a little while, but that's a different story.
Really awesome show.
It got sore, did it?
Tony, what are you doing?
What are you making for dinner tonight, Tony?
Chicken chow fun.
Hell yeah.
If I don't cut my hand off first.
Well, I got another song. I think I'm gonna guess you wrote this one, Tony. Is How to Kill a Zombie. Did you write that one?
That's a damn good guess. I did write that one. It's a sad satire of the things in life that you don't learn while you're dealing with being a school-aged kid and then thrown out into the great big universe.
Yeah,
you don't learn how to balance a checkbook in school. You don't learn how to deal with finances, and you sure as hell don't learn how to kill a zombie.
You don't learn how to do your fucking taxes or
yeah. Pretty sad satire.
I think the only
that's
thing I
one of
learned
my favorite songs to play
was like how to deal with crazy people.
How to deal with crazy people.
It is
there
an
should be
important topic.
More required psychology in high school.
Yeah.
I think even elementary could potentially benefit from a little bit of how to not be a psychopath 101, you know?
This is How to Kill a Zombie, written by Tony from El Sancho.
Everything dropping out in the air. Now there's zombies everywhere. From your easy shade, yeah. Tell me crime to be right there. School never taught me how to kill a zombie. School never taught me anything at all. School never taught me how to kill a zombie. School never taught me anything at all. Tossed and turning in my seat. I'm counting up zombie sheep. Zombie mommy makes me weak. I pray to God my soul to keep. School never taught me how to kill a zombie. School never taught me anything at all. School never taught me how to kill a zombie. School never taught me anything at all. Locked and loaded every day. I kill the zombies every way. In my house, I guess I'll stay. Yeah. Fight again another day. School never taught me how to kill a zombie. School never taught me anything at all. School never taught me how to kill a zombie. School never taught me anything at all. 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 School never taught me anything at all.
And we're back.
Man, I
that
love
one,
song.
I do like that song a lot. And one of my favorite things about that song is we put that out on vinyl. And
So
that was
you're-
our,
A little song. It's just really quick. We're just like done. That's it. Song's over.
Well, all your songs are pretty quick like that.
yes. But yeah, so we did make records of that, and we don't have any more, but they're like, we made picture discs.
Picture discs.
Picture discs. And
I don't.
let me see if I can find one.
I can't picture
I
this
have
in my
one.
mind. What is?
You can't picture this. It's gonna blow your mind. I bet I have.
I got one if you don't find yours, Alan.
No, I got one right here. Now, the fine listeners of PUNAtic Radio will not be able to see this, but you guys can. So it's actually a square record,
Oh,
and it's got grooves
It's
on
on
it.
a round record player.
that's
For some reason, I was
badass.
thinking like laser discs, and I was like, that's not
No.
right. But
No, and there's a picture
That's
of
the
El
next
Sancho at
format,
the Hilo
Alan,
Town
right
Tavern
there.
right there.
Alan,
next format,
Laser
laser.
disc. Yeah. Yeah.
laser disc.
So I have a friend who he just sold them because he's going to buy a boat, but he bought these
Don't buy a
like
boat.
80-year-old what do you call them? Record
press.
lights that like literally he has two of them. So when he makes custom records for bands, and he makes two at a time, and he just presses play, and then they scrape into the vinyl, and then he's done, and then he makes the next two, and so it's pretty rad. So we were able to make we only made like 25 of these, and gave most of them away. We sold a couple of them, but it was a super fun project to do, because I always love vinyl records, and they're hard to make right now because of the all the major labels are making every Taylor Swift album they make like 20 million records for now, and then but they don't have so all the if you want to go make a record, you get behind Taylor Swift and Dua Lipa and Doja Cat and the new Michael Bublé record and everything.
So what you're telling us is, if you want to make a record, you got to go get behind Taylor Swift
and Michael Bublé, because there's going to be a Michael Bublé limited edition color vinyl for his next Christmas album.
I'm picking up what you're laying down, Alan.
And they will sell a lot of them. So it's hard to make vinyl. That's why we made cassettes for that other one. And I do have another cassette planned. I actually have the cassettes we're gonna use. They're bright pink. And I think I got 50 of these. So we're gonna make an edition of 50, but I haven't figured out exactly what songs are gonna be on it yet. But I do. That's gonna be the next analog.
Can we call
release.
that album mixtape and have that as the label?
We could do whatever we want, Tony. We have the ultimate freedom of artistic expression.
I like the mixtape idea.
Okay.
You have also been very on it on all the merch stuff. I remember when we were doing merch and shit, I would just print things off of my computer. And that was about it. That's as deep as we got.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we made some t-shirts and when we made we made hats first, and the hats flew out the door. And then my friend Lynn made the hats, and then what's that?
Was it windy when the hats flew out the door?
Yes, it was super windy. It's Waikoloa, bro. So we made these hats, and then I gave her a bunch more hats to make, and then she never made them. That was like a year ago. And every once in a while, I'm like, hey, Lynn, can you make us some more hats? And she's like, oh yeah, I'll make them next week. But so I made t-shirts, and then I used the artwork from this album here for the t-shirts. And I just ordered another set of those t-shirts because we keep selling out of t-shirts. We made, CDs. No one buys CDs. I at the shows I sell a handful of CDs. But CDs are super cheap to make. But the t-shirts, everyone seems to love an El Sancho t-shirt.
Oh, t-shirts, a good collector's item. I love band t-shirts.
Yes.
Any band I see, I try to get their t-shirt.
Yeah, me too. It's just a fun thing you have that then you can wear it around and then go like, what the hell is that?
And
one of my favorite
t-shirts. I always kind of. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say an idea that I always had that I wish I would have acted on was getting cheap USB drives.
Yeah.
because I feel like that's kind of like the way now, you know, you're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
you get,
Well, you can't. The thing is, you can't plug that into your phone. You're past that. Like,
we
you
are
need something
past
you can
that.
plug in. You need something you can plug into your phone.
Yeah,
I-
all
I-
these
You
like
plug it into your stereo a lot
material
of times.
things are
You
just
plug it into your computer, but yeah,
Yeah, I
it's,
think you can plug it into your car. Yeah.
you can sell them a QR code, but that's lame.
Yeah.
all these material things now are just collector's items.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah. I was
I
in a
thought it would
band
be cool
and
if
we
you
made
could get,
we
like,
made
custom
floppy
printed.
disks.
Yeah.
Sell floppy
was-
disks and laser
It was
disks.
long after floppy disks were a thing, but we put out an album on floppy disk, and it was like way after floppy disks were a thing, but before the internet was really a thing. Like, it was in that weird gray area where like you couldn't just download any music, but also you probably didn't have a floppy disk drive. You definitely had a CD drive in your computer, but you didn't have a floppy disk drive anymore. But you also couldn't just like go on the internet and listen to it. So it was like we sold floppy disks on tour, and
I
people
love that. That is so impractical. I love it.
that's why I like almost everyone I've sold these tapes to, like if we sell them at shows,
Mhm.
people are like, are you selling tape players? It's like, no, man, go buy a 1994 Dodge Neon.
Nobody
I feel
wants
like
a 1994 Dodge. Neon.
$300 and it'll have a tape player in it. Just park it in your garage. It comes with a comfy seat, you know.
I'm thinking now that we've moved on from those El Sancho NFTs, man. We got to come up with something.
By the time we figure it out, the NFT market will have dropped into, you know.
Well, that's the perfect time to get in on it, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna wait till it's completely irrelevant, and then we're gonna get in on that.
Just like how you got on that floppy disk market. Wait till it's.
Yeah.
Okay, she bring it back, so I never just fucking question it, please, and just keep on going. What the fuck?
What the?
What's that?
Say something, make her feel more crazy. No, I'm just gonna.
All right. Can we? Is that Greg? Greg, are you still with us? Or are you passed out in the dark?
He might be passed out in the dark.
I might want to mute him.
Well, let's play another song.
Okay.
Let's play another one off the Christmas album because I don't know.
Okay.
Some of these I fucking love. This is Goodwill Towards Man Seems Insincere.
Oh,
Well,
And I thought this was just direct and just great.
because
so I have a confession to make.
Go ahead. Confess.
Don't
This
do
is
it.
not my first. This is not my first Christmas album.
Oh.
And many years ago,
the video is
I made a Christmas album for my sister and her kids, and it was really bad. But I made it only for her family to listen to, and the lyrics from this song, half of the lyrics of this song, are from this album I made for my sister many years ago. That's my confession. Is that not that the album was bad? That I have made more than one Christmas album.
And
That's-
you have used
that is a-
parts of it
that
for
is-
this album.
I don't mind that part. It's just that the fact that I have made two Christmas albums now is kind of embarrassing. I mean, who am I? I don't know. I mean,
You're the go-to Christmas punk rock guy now. Don't pigeonhole
you
yourself.
know, it was
You need to-
maybe like almost 15 years ago, and it was like I made it all on my iPhone. It might not have been 15 years ago. It was an iPhone 4, and I had a little cable I could plug in, so I could plug my guitar into it, and I could plug and I record all the vocals directly into the thing. And then I had a drum machine on the iPhone, and I record the whole album that way. It was also very bad, but this song that was a song from that album, and then I redid it for this album.
All right, this is Goodwill Towards Man Seems Insincere.
There's a riot at the store. Deals on waffle irons galore. The planned demand outwins supplies. People to send like a pack of lions. Bones are broken, faces punched. Was the bargain worth this much? There goes the Christmas cheer. Goodwill towards man seems insincere. 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 Turn into a Christian caliphate. Angry extremists take the bait. Confirmation insincere. We're being played 6 ways around, from left and right and up and down. Instead of fighting corporate greed, we're fighting each other on Facebook feed. Christmas tables flipped in fear. Grandma's house is full of tears. Goes the Christmas cheer. Goodwill towards man seems insincere. 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 Goodwill towards man seems insincere.
And we're back.
Oh, yes. Genius.
Another
Love
rockin' song. Another great Christmas song. I had no expectations for a Christmas album. And a number of these I fucking love.
That's why we're doing
Yeah.
it, man. We're not. If you didn't love it, we wouldn't do it.
No, we'd still do it if you didn't love it, actually.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't
We-
expect anything
we,
less.
we appreciate that you enjoy it, but we would still do it even if nobody listened to it, because we have no choice in the matter. You know, like sometimes you just have to create, whether it's good or bad, and I don't have the choice, so have
No.
to create.
And you can't control how other people judge you.
Don't care.
Yeah,
So,
you got to
yeah.
go with that attitude.
Yeah.
And that's punk rock, and that's why you're great at it. I fucking love it. And I believe that's all the questions I have, all the songs I had wanted to talk about and ask you about. I could go over more, but
What else you got?
I have the 3 albums. If your EP, your album, and the Christmas album.
Well, I
What-
mean, what else do you what else do you want to know? What deep dark secrets have you been wondering?
I have
Probably
a question.
none, actually.
I have one.
Yes.
Within the songwriting process, because you tend to just write songs so like proficiently, I guess. What do you find is sort of the trick to finishing songs? Because I find that most people find that that's like the hardest part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it is the hardest part. And I don't.
What- There's no correct answer, and I mean, yeah,
I would say
I feel
so.
like
I would say that it is. So for me personally, the way I write songs is I write them by myself. I like literally have a guitar right here at my desk. This is where I have a job where I sit at a computer all day, and so when I'm like take a break from work, write a song. And then they're always just fragments. There's 8 billion fragments of songs.
Yep.
That I have that are on my computer right now, and
super relatable.
right, and occasionally one of them comes out, and usually what it is that well, there's 2 ways. One is sometimes I literally just actually figure out the whole song, and I will present them with, I'm like, here is a recording of the entire song, and they're like, okay, we're gonna play it completely different because that's not how we think it should go, which is fine. And then we hash it out for a couple weeks, and we all agree on what it is, and then it is. And then usually it's never finished until there's a recording of it.
Mhm.
And so
even then,
yeah,
And
a lot of
even
our
then-
songs, like we totally change them after the recordings. Like we play definitely a lot, especially both of the EP and we don't really play any songs off the Christmas album, but the EP and the album most of those songs we actually play very different than was recorded because we rushed through those. So the answer to your question is no. Songs are never finished. They're always in production, but there's always a point where you're like, it's good enough. At this point, I feel like it's good enough, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna let other people hear it. And my personal feeling about, like, I know other people who are in bands who, like, I went to go sell this band last weekend that I like, that's from Kona, and they put out an album a few years ago and then they played like 2 shows and then went back in their cave and didn't come back out, and then like apparently have recorded an entire new album, have not let anyone hear it, and they came out and played a show and played a bunch of the songs, and I was like, well, they're good, but I don't know, they weren't quite right. Like, whereas I feel like everything I like to do is very iterative. Like, I like to get things out, get feedback, put it out there, see how people react to it. If people like it, do things more like that. Or maybe it's like, oh, like we've only had one song I think that I would put out, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna delete that song off Spotify. But there's definitely songs like you can, that's what's great thing about the internet is, like, I can look on Bandcamp and I can look on Spotify and Apple Music, and I can see what songs get played by people and what songs don't. Like there's songs that 3,000 or 4,000 plays and they get played regularly, and there's other songs that have been played like 14 times, probably not 14, but like 67 times. Like, definitely we have songs that have been played under 100 times, on the same album with a song that gets played 4,000 times, and you're like, what's the difference between these 2 songs? Okay, this song is maybe not very good. And so, like, that's the kind of feedback for me that's super helpful. Like, just, does anybody care?
Yeah.
And so I like to just put things out, even if they're not what I would consider perfect and finished. I don't need to make a polished project. I just need it to be like good enough to be not embarrassing.
Yeah. And
my tolerance for not embarrassing is really low.
I always found that like going out to the crowd was a skill in itself, and polishing the song. It's like you're working on the song for a long time, but you need to bring it to a crowd to work on it more.
Yeah, and most of our band has existed during this pandemic, and so it's been really hard to do that. Like, it's definitely true. Like, you throw out a new song, and you watch people when you play it live. You watch, what do they think? Like, are people bored? Are they walking away? They're like, oh, they're engaged. Okay, then we know. Like, we have this one song called "Bloody Scar" that like every time we play that, you can, like, we haven't released it. We did put out a demo on Bandcamp, but we don't have a real version of it. But every time we play that, it's like everyone's ears perk up, and we're like, okay, so we know that song's got something. There's something with that song that we think people are gonna like.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit different with my ability to sit down and record music, because most days I'm on a boat. But when I do get a song that I'm ready to introduce, what I'll do is I'll break it down to chords and vocals and bring it to the rest of El Sancho during a practice. And then they will add, change, remove, delete parts as needed to where it becomes a functional, playable tune. That's how we did with Great White Shark. That's how we did with How to Kill a Zombie. There's another one that we've worked on that hasn't been worked on in a long time, since we've got a new guitarist in now. But yeah, that's my take on writing music. Is I'll get inspiration usually while I'm on a boat, and then be able to use the guys in the band as a feedback, and add, delete, change parts as necessary.
Yeah.
And we're sponsored in tonight's episode by Lee Kum Kim oyster sauce.
Oh, only the finest.
I love oysters
And
and their sauce.
their sauce. Those damn saucy oysters.
Fucking grilled opihi. Fuck.
With a Hawaiian chili pepper and some shoyu.
Ooh,
Yep.
that sounds good.
About to brick in my pants now.
We're having chicken chow fun. If you're in Waikoloa, come on, stop by.
Run over.
I wish. I'm unfortunately actually out in Seattle right now. I moved out here right before the fucking pandemic, and that is what it is.
Yep. Yeah.
No.
On purpose?
No, I like 2 weeks after I moved here, everything shut down. But I did move out here on purpose.
Have things settled down in Seattle?
It's getting a little bit better. I'm waiting to go scope out some open mic nights and kind of check out the scenes. But yeah, it's been rough. I came out here to kind of pursue music and do a little bit more, kind of explore what's going on, because I grew up on the island and I've never seen anything else. And I went to school for music, and I just felt like I needed to go do the thing for a little while.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, Seattle's cool. I used to live in Portland. And then
I have a bunch of buddies who live out in Portland, and that's another spot I would love to go live. But please continue. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, my sister lives in Seattle, so when I lived in Portland, I was always up and down that I-5 corridor. We just went up there. We were up there over Christmas, and I was certain I was going to get COVID. I didn't get COVID.
Yes, you did. You just
I
didn't know it.
I just didn't get it.
Didn't know it.
But I did go to the Space Needle. I didn't go up it, but I went to it.
It's expensive to go up. It's like,
Yeah, I looked at the
more
price. I was like,
expensive.
I don't actually need to see. 'Cause, like, I flew here, and from the airplane you get a bird's eye view. So why do you need to go up the thing and then
I
get
feel
the
like
same
it's
view?
potentially- Yeah, I feel like it's potentially more expensive than the Eiffel Tower, honestly. For no
Yes.
reason.
And the thing is, the Eiffel Tower. Holy crap! The line for that is insane. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the worst line. That is the worst line I've ever been in.
If you take the stairs, you're fine.
Yeah, no, I did the elevator. That was the worst decision.
That's the mistake.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
if you take the stairs, at least go to the first level, and then you can take the elevator, and it's a
Yeah,
better line.
It was.
And you can
It was. It was like I was in Paris for like 3 days, and I spent 1 day in line for the Eiffel Tower.
Talking about Paris now.
What other large obelisks are you into?
Hard to
The tower at Coconut Island.
There you go. There you go.
Got to jump off the rock.
Yes.
I think that's all I have.
All right.
It's
Well,
been
it was a great
having
chatting
me.
with you guys.
Yeah.
We will see you in May.
In May, coming to this side of the island. Again, you have shows on your side of the island this month and
Yes.
this Friday,
This
right?
week. This coming Friday.
This Friday in Kona, and then May or April 30th in Waikoloa. Yeah.
I thought it was the 18th.
Nope. It was the 30th.
All right.
I don't know how you got 18th out of that, because there's literally no, it's not like it's like the 3rd and you got the numbers mixed up. The 18th doesn't line up.
Right.
And the 18th is a Monday, by the way. But yeah, no, and then yeah, we're trying to bring a bunch of bands over here, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but like I brought Square Shapes over here in Granite Saints. We're actually in December. I just confirmed this week we're bringing the Super Suckers to the Big Island.
Oh, awesome. Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. I love that you're doing that. I'm so stoked.
And it's going to be and what's extra awesome, it's going to be a free show with the Super Suckers on the Big Island.
Awesome.
It's going to be a free outdoor show with the Super Suckers. It's going to be killer. And there's some other bands I can't quite mention yet that that we don't have dates for yet, but like trying to make it happen now that, you know, airfare between Oahu and here is not that expensive. When bands come to Oahu, like it's like you can come here on another day and spend, you know, $60 per person to get here. It's like basically an extra $60 expense to get to the Big Island now. Used to be like $200. So there's a bunch of bands, like all the bands that are trying to come to Oahu right now. I got a promoter on the Big Island or on Oahu who's letting them know. And then I also have a bunch of bands who are just like, they don't even know the difference between Oahu and the Big Island. They think the Big Island is Oahu.
Oh,
you know, and so like, we want to come play on the Big Island. I'm like, no, you don't, but you can. But you got to play Oahu. As long as you play Oahu, you can come here, but you got to play there first. And then trying to bring, there's a band from Maui I want to bring over, and then some other bands from Oahu. Like those bands are a little easier.
Fucking A, that sounds amazing.
Because I just want things to happen. That's all. Just, you know, I want to see. It's basically, it's a selfish thing. I just want to see music. You know,
same.
And it's not. I don't want to see Led Zeppelin covers or whatever it is. Right. Yeah.
That's why we got into music. I think it's why most people start bands on the island.
It's like you want to see other music.
Yeah. Well, it's been excellent having you guys, El Sancho, Tony, Alan, and we lost.
Our pleasure, dude.
We lost Greg. He may have died. I'm not sure. That may have been alcohol poisoning. Yeah.
Make sure he wasn't kidnapped.
He might have been kidnapped. He may have had 27 beers, and I don't know.
That's a great
anything
image.
Could happen.
That is such a great image.
Enjoy your chow fun, Tony. And
yes, sir. Sounds like chow fun to me.
Nice
I just
to meet you guys. I've met before, but what was your radio name again?
Oh, PUNAtic Radio.
No, the stage name.
I go up by Shits Leopold, but I just on the radio.
Leopold.
Love it.
Yeah, but
and was it the Shrednator or the Reshredorator?
Yeah,
the Reshredorator, because I keep
the Reshredorator. So there was already a Shrednator, and you're like, yeah, no, I have to. You're like Shrednator Junior or Reshredorator.
Less grammar, more important.
Yes, there you go. All right.
See you, boys.
Appreciate it.
Love you. Aloha. And
aloha. See y'all.
And how do I stop this?
You can't.
We've been at war with Christmas since '96. You battled one, but it was looking pretty grim. Old man O'Reilly had us down for the count. Then he pulled out a loofah and sponged it out. Captain Hannity renewed the fight. Takes a good soldier to battle through the night. But he didn't count on our secret weapon, a super dumb president who would do our bit now, We finally won the war on Christmas. Everyone is down with the sickness. Nobody's sitting on Santa's lap. The mistletoe's a coronavirus trap. We finally won the war on Christmas. Everyone is down with the sickness. Nobody's sitting on Santa's lap. The mistletoe's a coronavirus trap. First to give way. Did you see what you did to the White House display? Her dystopian vision for Trumpian Christmas was the first signal that the cracks would get vicious. Antifa forces then took to the streets, deploying fake ballots and a horrible disease, till everyone voted and everyone is sick.